Donation. About the fun. You know, that's what my daughter was telling me. She's like, wow, she's got that. She's like, well, you want my money back. And then, right? Yeah, exactly.
Oh, thanks for that.
Intro for it. Is that cool?
Sorry?
I'll do a little intro for you.
That's fantastic. Yeah, it's like 30 out of door to door.
You're doing the intro?
Yeah, I'll do the intro.
Okay.
And the last leg was delayed like 3 hours, and it's only a 46-minute flight from Los Angeles. So that's all right. I'm not complaining.
No, you're just telling me the facts.
Yeah, just about.
All right, everybody. I'd like to introduce our next presentation here at the Planet MicroCap Showcase Vegas in partnership with MicroCapClub. Up next is Gavin Burnett from Locafy.
Thanks, Bobby. Much appreciated. Okay, Locafy, let's get straight into it. I'll try and get this done in around about 20 minutes and leave enough time for questions. And yeah, thanks to Bobby for putting this on. It's a great event. So for those that don't know anything about us, make this a little, there we go. Our code LCFY, LCFYW, globally recognized software as a service company. And basically what we do is we specialize in getting companies on page 1 of Google very quickly, and more recently, AI. So that's what we do. We help businesses and brands quickly and easily get to achieve visibility for what they do, where they do it. Okay. Founded in 2009. I know I don't look that old, but yeah, 16 years ago, for better or worse. The headquarters are in Perth, West Australia. I was just saying to Bobby, it was 30 hours door to door to be here, but very, very glad to be here. We're about as far away from Las Vegas as you can get anywhere in the world, apart from Antarctica, I think. We have around 20 global publishing partners, more than 500 paying clients. The key markets we operate in are USA, Canada, and Australia. The reason for that, particularly with SEO, is that language is important. We've had some companies in Greece and places like that that are very keen to use our tech, but we don't speak Greek, so we're not sure, if things go wrong, we don't know how to fix it. So it's as simple as that. But these are also the biggest markets for us as well. And FY 2024 revenue in Australia, our financial year runs from July 1 through to June 30. So these numbers are June 30, 2024. Our December numbers will be released in the next week or so. So I can't talk about those numbers yet because they're obviously not released yet, but keep an eye out for them. Revenue is around just over 4 mil that year. So what problems do we solve? Well, if ever any of you have tried to solve the problem of getting onto page 1, it's very difficult. It typically costs a lot of money, it takes a lot of time, and after 12 months, your SEO guy goes, "Oh, I tried, sorry, I didn't get there," and you've spent the money, and you haven't really got very far. With the technology that we've got, and I'd like to just point out Jimmy Kelly over here, probably one of the top 3 SEOs in the world, without any shadow of a doubt. The technology that we've built enables customers typically to get to page 1 on the pages that we build within 30 to 60 days, 90 at a stretch. And even if we have to modify customers' websites, we can typically get them to the front for pretty valuable keywords within about 90 days. So when we generally do that for pretty much any customer we work for. It's highly cost effective. I won't get into the details of the pricing right now. We can chat about that later, but it is cost effective compared to other alternatives. Rapid deployment. Usually we'll have these solutions deployed, particularly for local, in around about 24 hours, so you don't have to wait a long time. And proven performance. We like to say any keyword, any market. There's nothing that's out of reach or too difficult for us to tackle. Oh, and we guarantee the performance. So whatever guarantee we set, whether it's 90 days or 120 days, if we don't achieve the objective, we'll work for free until we do. And thankfully, we don't have to call on that guarantee very often. It's a big market. So if you look at why do people spend money on digital marketing? Well, it's all about visibility. It's all about getting more engagement with customers. Now, that $790 billion includes paid ads, it includes SEO, it includes website builds. That money is being spent to try and get their online presence in front of as many people as possible for what they do. And it's only getting bigger. By 2029, estimates are $1.1 trillion US. But there's a big kink that's just occurred in the market, and this is something that when we get to the end of the presentation, you hopefully go, "Oh, that's really interesting." So Google still dominates. There's no question about that. But at least 30% of Americans now use chat or other types of AI for search. Google still dominates, and that's where the money is. But you cannot ignore AI, right? And what is being found is that when people use AI for search, they're more engaged. Now, even though the search results are essentially the same, because chat seems to have that more personable approach, when customers click through to the citations and then go through the website, they stay there longer, they're more engaged. Now, even though the results that have been turned up are pretty much the same. So that's an interesting thing. But we've got it covered. So what Jimmy, when we make a statement about our search, we're doing it from a position of testing. We've spent millions of dollars on research and testing, so we're not guessing, we're telling you what we've found in the market. And what we've found is that AI is essentially using the same methodologies as the search engines. So the message here is that if you've got your SEO right, you're going to feature prominently in AI. No? Easier said than done, because most people don't get their SEO right. But if you do, you can absolutely dominate both the Google, Bing, DuckDuckGo, and all the AI engines as well. And we'll show you examples of why that's true. This is the problem for every business in the world, whether they're local, national, or do e-commerce. They're located in one position, but they're trying to get customers from either their immediate vicinity, a region, a national customer base, or they're trying to sell their product to anyone in the world. But how can you reach those customers and get to the top of Google search or Bing search and also AI? It all starts with content. That's might seem simple, but it's true. And what we've tested, we know what content needs to be on that page, and it's surprisingly little. So it's all about how you structure the pages. The content's important, and it needs to be unique and authentic, because that's your footprint, if you like, to these search engines. And little things like your address, your name, address, and phone number seem simple, but that's actually your social security number to Google. That's how it identifies you as a starting point, and it goes from there. So the initial content that you put out there, it's so important that it's authentic, it's unique, and accurate. Then once you've got that base, people think that directories and citations are a waste of time. I can assure you they're not. They're not going to give you leads. The phone's not going to ring off the hook. You're not going to get a lot of business from it. But what it does is it tells these engines that you're a real business, that your address is real, right? Because it's checking out where, how many reputable sources are telling it that you're a real business located at XYZ address and this phone number. That's why it's important to be, it's like a necessary evil. It's a really important foundation. Again, a lot of people overlook that, but it's really, really critical. Now, whether we optimize your website or build landing pages, it's all about structure. And if you think about it, Google is an algorithm. It's a piece of software, and it's trawling through trillions and trillions of pages. it's obviously not reading all the content. It's looking at other things. So we are pretty confident as to what they are because we've tested it rigorously. And provided you got those things in the right place, when the algorithm goes through, it goes, I know what that is, and serves up the results. And without giving too much away, one of the things that Jimmy looked at was what are the search engines' business models. Google is not a consumer search engine, despite what people might think. It's a PPC engine. It's all about advertising. So once you've got that mindset and you realize that everything they do is revolved around how much more money can they make from advertising, it makes sense. So if you structure your pages in the same way that they drive their advertising revenue, you're putting yourself in a good position, okay, without giving anything away. Another thing you can do in terms of getting prominence is writing articles. Publishing them on third-party sites gives you credibility as well. And we again can make those rank pretty quickly for longer tail keywords on a national scale or on a local scale, depending on what audience you're going after. More so for local, this is very, very important for local businesses. Around 44% of all website traffic will come through the map pack, which you've probably seen when you search for something that you're looking for, a product or service. So about 44%. So if you're not in the map, you're not getting much traffic at all. The bulk of the rest of the traffic comes from the top 3 organic positions. So super important to have this properly optimized. And again, there are some important things to do, which we've automated. And again, we can typically get customers to the top of those map pack results within 30 days or so, again, in any market. And the cool thing is it also works for AI. So what we found is that by getting your SEO spot on and structured in such a way, AI is using the same sources as the search engines. Okay, they're not doing anything different. They're presenting them differently, but the results are largely the same. This one here, now I know it's small, but I was thinking, if anyone does take the presentation, they can always blow it up and see it, or they can check it out for themselves. Can go and test everything that I'm saying here, to prove that we're telling you the truth. That website's was six weeks old. Now, typically, if you've ever built a website, trying to get any sort of presence within 12 months is not easy for high-value keywords. That not only ranked and outranked some well-established Australian companies inside of 6 weeks, it was also outranked them on AI. Now, this is coming. This is one of the releases we have coming up in the June quarter. We've got all the pieces around visibility. The next thing is engagement. So we've built AI bots that can basically act as your concierge. Nothing new per se, but because we've got all the data collected together, we've got your GBP, you've got your website, we've got, if you give us access to any other databases, your CRMs and so forth, we can train that chatbot to be like a 24/7 assistant for you. We have a scalable go-to-market approach. We have a lot of existing partners. I said 20 or so global publishing partners. These are business listing companies, so they've got the core data, going back to the earlier slide, where the content is the sort of initial source that we need. We can take that content and produce pages in a programmatic way. So that's a big push for us this year for growth in a scalable, automated way. We're also targeting industry groups that have a lot of franchisees or multi-location businesses, and working with large marketing agencies that have, again, multi-location businesses. And we've got quite a bit of traction there already. Now, this is the exciting bit. Not that the other wasn't exciting, but you know what I mean. All righty. Who would have thought picture frames? There's probably one of these in millions and millions of American households. Very competitive. These things are sold everywhere. So this is our client, and I'm sure some of you will go away after this presentation and go and check it out for yourself, which you're welcome to do. So the thing that they wanted to rank for was beige oak frames. Pretty innocuous term, but high value term. Note that they sell these products on multiple marketplaces. They've got it on their own website. They sell it on Walmart. They sell it on Target. They sell it on Amazon, right? This is what happened when we turned the campaign on. Now, again, no one needs to be overly technical to understand that's a good graph. Yeah. And look what it did. So when you type beige oak frames into Google, it's 5 of the top 10. But not just their website, it's wherever they sell it. So you can see there, you got Etsy, or you probably can't see, but I'll tell you what they are. You got Etsy, you've got Amazon, you've got their own site, and it dominates the images as well. Bing is even better. It's 8 of the top 10. Now, I don't know if you've seen anything like that before, but that's what it does. And on Amazon, again, this is the next step. So if somebody goes to Amazon and doesn't go to Google and types in beige oak frames, guess what? It's on page 1. I didn't bore you by putting all of the other ones up like Etsy, but I can assure you it's the same result. So when you go to those marketplaces and type in the thing you're looking for, because we've optimized for that keyword in a way that we know that they want to see it, it comes up on top. And check that out. That's ChatGPT. That's 100% of the citations. And again, the cool thing with this is you can't fake it. It either is or it isn't. It's black and white, like the slide. Right? But literally you can see there, you got Target, House and Hughes, Walmart, Amazon, Target. And over there, any online retailer, it's basically pointing to House and Hughes for that product. That's all I got. No worries. I'm done on that front. So more than happy to take any questions. And yeah, you're welcome to clap if you want to as well, because it's being it's being webcast, so I don't want people to think it was boring or anything like that. Mm-hmm. We've had one this year, and he got a bit nervous after 30 days. So we said, okay, we'll pause it. Aside from that, no. It was a cleaning company in a very competitive market. Yes, sir. Yes, that's correct. That's correct. I'm not allowed to talk about growth as such, but in terms of revenue forecasts or anything like that. But the first 9 to 10 years were fairly intensive research, development, and building. It's really only been the last 3 or 4 years that we've really got into revenue growth. That's a hard one for me to answer. If you ask, where do we see the growth coming from? We see tremendous growth coming in the local markets. So local products. These products will typically sell for between $600 and $1,500 a month. And on the e-commerce side as well, those products will sell for between 6 and 10,000, and we'll have our first series of customers coming on stream with that in the next few weeks, based on those results there. So I don't want to avoid the question. I just got to we haven't put our financials out for December, so. Oh, okay. Again, I don't want to quote the wrong numbers, but it was a slight downturn from 23 to 24, but increased profitability as we automated a lot of, we trimmed our staff from around 60 to under 20. So we've automated a lot of things. So we focused on automation, and we've got a real focus on profitability. That's our short term. Maybe that's the way that I can answer that question. Our absolute focus as a company is profitability in the near term. And yes, sir. No, all industries. We have clients in from legal to lawn mowing to accounting to plumbing. It really doesn't matter. It's all around the structure of the pages. So any keyword, any market, whether it's local or national, it really doesn't matter. What will differ is the time it may take, depending on the competitiveness of the keyword, the density of the market that we're trying to compete in. And yeah, the competitive, like the volume of searches that are being done for a particular keyword, they're the sort of determining factors. But we have ways of influencing that, shall we say, to get that result in a timely manner. Yes, mate. Yeah, it's recurring. We typically have an upfront setup fee, which customers will pay. That again will vary depending on what we need to do. So if we're doing landing pages, which we're using our tech, sitting on our tech, the costs tend to be a bit lower because it's more of a template that we're able to roll out. If we are providing recommendations for a customer site, that tends to be starts at around $3,000 and then anything up to 10 upfront to do that work. And then the rest is recurring. And we have a very good retention rate on that. Customers don't tend to like to lose page one. Yes, sir. I have one shareholding and that's Locafy. I have around about 9% of the company. And also the largest investor in terms of actual cash, for better or worse. I think for better. Yes, sir. Oh. Mhm.
Targeting. So what really differentiates you is just the time that you have put into setting up your way of doing it, the whole within promise time frame?
Guarantees are certainly, I think, relatively unique. We're definitely not like any other SEO company. So Jimmy Kelly over there, who's sitting there, if you've heard of backlinks, no? Okay, backlinks is the sort of SEO. People still do that now. Well, Jimmy invented domain stacking authority, which is otherwise known as backlinks. He hasn't used them in 8 years. Right? He invented entity-based SEO, which is an entity as a product, person, place, or thing. So Google is a very literal beast that has each thing has a unique identifier. And we know if we can make a site rank for that core entity, it's like the Death Star. You hit that, you get the whole thing. Everything blows up. So no, we don't have anybody else. We've also got some technology that we can apply that will accelerate the way that customers get to market. And we know that no other company has that technology in their possession because Jimmy invented it. That's a great question. And Sir, I saw. Yeah, well, burn rate is, we're aiming for profitability by the end of the September quarter. That's our internal goal. Now, we believe we're well positioned to achieve that. It may happen sooner. We have an ATM facility, which is there if we need it. We don't intend to draw down on that. That's a couple of $1 million. We just advertised that or published that a few days ago. So yes, I believe we do have enough liquidity for the near term. As a major shareholder, I'm not keen on dilution either. I'm more interested in getting there, getting to profitability sooner rather than later. And we're on the right track to do that. So hopefully that answers your question, sir. Any other questions? Nope. Well, I really appreciate your time and some great questions there. Thank you very much. And we're around, Jimmy and I are around the next couple of days. We've got a pretty full book, but if you want to catch up, just let me know. I'm more than happy to meet with you. Thanks, guys.